To your point, Mina, before Daniel Jones got hurt, the only quarterback in the league that had more passing yards on play action was Matthew Stafford, who, of course, ended up winning MVP. Still ahead of...
He's as smooth of football player as I've ever been around. And it's just, I'm lucky to come to work and have the guys that we do, especially him going out there. And he works extremely hard. It's fun to be out there with him.
Tim, what are you expecting out of the DJ Moore, Josh Allen combo this year?
Yeah, I think the chemistry will pick up quickly, Graz. I do think DJ Moore, is a guy that's played the position for a while. Obviously, he's got, he's been productive. I think the big thing for DJ Moore is the run after catch ability. And I think Josh, kind of understanding the type of player that he is, finding ways, and then Joe Brady finding ways, to get him the ball where, there are run after the catch opportunity. Because I think that's really where he can separate himself and be something different than what Buffalo's had in the past.
Well, when you look at it over the last few years, as you've mentioned, Kevin, it's the onset of consistent level of split safety play that's being played around the NFL, trying to counter some of the big pass plays, the chunk throws down the field. And with that has come the offense is then countering with more small ball, I'll call it, for lack of a better term. And hey, dink and dunk, and then eventually something comes open down the field. And with that, probably a little bit more, numbers per play in terms of series, or less series, but more multiple play drives. And then kind of what's going on as well is this, hey, 5 men on the line of scrimmage. We started tinkering with it last year, did it years ago in Carolina, even before that in Philadelphia under Jim Johnson. And so that's kind of come full circle again. So it's kind of punch and counter punch. And that's the fun part, the chess part about the game that I love.
If you had to guess right now, and it's May 2026, but where is it going next? Like if you were to guess and just look at what we saw last year, you mentioned the split safeties, everything's coming down close to the line of scrimmage now. Where does it go next from there because of the punches and the counter punches?
Well, I mean, my vision, at least at this point, is you're talking about 5 people on the line of scrimmage, talking about under center quarterbacks, coming even, we were doing it in Buffalo. You saw the Seahawks doing it quite a bit. You're probably going to see some of those teams, West Coast in particular, doing that. The OCs that are coming from that system, call it McVay, call it West Coast, whatever it is, Kyle Shanahan. You see Clint, did it and led the team to help lead his team to the Super Bowl. So I think that's a big part of where offenses are going to be kind of matriculating from, if you will, that quarterback under center because of the different options that come from it. So again, it's as a defensive backgrounded coach, you're always trying to be 3 to 5 years out in front. And I felt like we were that way. And it's, hey, I get a unique opportunity this offseason to get myself and our playbook back.
Picking everybody's brain. And obviously, I think there's probably going to be a self-scouting process of that as well about looking back. Looking back now, again, May 2026, hindsight's 2020. Is there anything that you circle right now where you say, if I could have done that over, I would have done blank with anything in Buffalo?
Well, there's a lot that we did well. I mean, when you
heck yeah.
And hey, you take a team and you're 17 years without going to the playoffs, and we're able to go to the playoffs in year 1, and then 8 of the following 9 years. There was a lot of good things that we did. So you don't want to lose sight of that. But yeah, there's always things you're going to reflect on. And I'm currently going through that process now, Kevin, with it, and saying, hey, there's 2 or 3 things or a handful of things that I'm going to continue to look at and reflect on and grow in those areas. And you want to come back. My whole goal is coming back and saying, hey, because I think this is the $1 million question, or one of them is, what do players, what do they need, right, from their head coach to become the best version of themselves? Mm-hmm. That was a question for me then, and it's still a question now, because it's always moving the way that, society's changing and whatnot. And so it's, I think that's something that I'm continually trying to hunt down.
Listen, What if the most dangerous move Buffalo could make is not the loudest name? What if it is not the player who wins the internet for one day, but the player who ruins an offense before the highlight even starts? Bills Mafia, this is where people miss the point. Alex Highsmith, the Buffalo, would not be about chasing the biggest headline. It would not be about selling him as some superhero savior. It would be about changing the rhythm of the game, the uncomfortable rhythm, the hidden rhythm. The rhythm only shows up when the tackle takes one bad step, the quarterback leaves the pocket too early, and the play caller starts crossing things off the sheet because he no longer trusts the protection. Alex Highsmith is not the headline. He is the reason the headline changes after the game. That is the kind of player I'm talking about. Not just sacks, not just highlights, not just the easy stuff everybody sees on Sunday night. Highsmith is the type of edge rusher who makes an offense pay interest snap after snap, and pressure account. A chip block here, a tight end staying in there, a running back removed from the route, a protection sliding one way, a quarterback throwing before the route is ready. That is not always loud, but it is expensive. And in January, expensive mistakes decide seasons. Buffalo does not just need more talent. Buffalo needs more snaps where the opponent feels the game getting smaller. You know those games. Bills Mafia knows those games. The ones where everything feels tight. Every third down feels like a trap. Every possession feels like a storm. Every missed pressure turns into a nightmare. Highsmith is the kind of player who helps flip that feeling onto the other sideline. Because some defenders do not dominate by exploding one time. They dominate by taking away comfort. Think about it. First quarter, maybe he doesn't have a sack. Second quarter, still no monster highlight, but the right tackle is thinking about him. The coordinator is adjusting protections. The quarterback is pointing him out before the snap. The running back is looking outside before releasing. Then, by the fourth quarter, that offense is no longer playing free. It is playing careful. It is playing shorter. It is playing nervous. That is controlled chaos. Against elite quarterbacks, chaos without discipline becomes a gift. Highsmith brings controlled chaos. He sets the edge, he understands timing. He doesn't just run himself out of plays. He can compress the pocket without destroying the structure behind him. And against smart quarterbacks, that matters. You don't need to wreck every snap. You need to disturb the right snap. One third down, one rushed throw, one pass action that never develops because the edge stayed home. One pass that comes out low because the quarterback can't plant his foot. That is the kind of detail that wins ugly football. Now, imagine Highmark Stadium late in the year. Cold air, crowd loud but not chaotic, focused. The offense across from Buffalo walks in confident. Then the game starts changing slowly. Protection calls get longer. The tackle gets heavier in his stance. The quarterback starts checking the edge before checking the coverage. Highsmith bends the pocket just enough, and suddenly the Bills secondary has a chance to attack the football instead of just surviving. That is impact before the sack. And listen, this is not confirmed. This is not me saying Pittsburgh is moving him. This is not me saying Buffalo has made a call. This is a hypothetical conversation, and it would depend on cost, contract, role, fit, and the plan. Highsmith would not fix everything by himself. He would not be a magic button. Buffalo still has to build the whole defense the right way. But the Bills cannot only look at names that sell jerseys, they have to look at names that change downs. Because the AFC is not won by vibes, it is won by small discomforts stacked on top of each other until the other team finally breaks. A pass rushed, a route cut short, a tight end stuck blocking, a running back removed from the route, a protection sliding one way, a quarterback throwing before the route is ready. That is not always loud, but it is expensive. And so, Bills Mafia, I need to hear from you. Do you want the loudest name, or do you want the kind of player who quietly makes every offense worse? Would you rather chase a giant headline or an intelligent fit like Alex Highsmith? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to Buffalo Blitz Report for daily Bills news, rumors, reactions, and everything that matters to this fan base. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.